All the planets are here described as Gola, round. Every planet is round and each planet is a different shelter, just like islands in the great ocean. Planets are sometimes called Dvipa or Varsha. This earth planet is called Bharata Varsha because it was ruled by King Bharata. Another significant word used in this verse is Bahu Ascharyam, many wonderful things. This indicates that the different planets are distributed all over the universe in the 8 directions. And each and every one of them is wonderful in itself. Each planet has its particular climatic influences and particular types of inhabitants and is completely equipped with everything, including the beauty of the seasons. In the Brahma Samhita, it is similarly stated, Vibhuti Binnam, on each and every planet there are different opulences. It cannot be expected that one planet is exactly like another. By God's grace, by nature's law, each and every planet is made differently and has different wonderful features. All such wonders were personally experienced by Kardama Muni while he travelled with his wife. Yet he could return again to his humble hermitage. He showed his princess wife that although he was living in the hermitage, he had the power to go everywhere and do anything by the mystic yoga. That is the perfection of yoga. One cannot become a perfect yogi simply by showing some sitting postures, nor by such sitting postures or so-called meditation can one become God, as is being advertised. Foolish persons are misled into believing that simply by some caricature of meditation and sitting postures, one cannot become God within 6 months. Here is the example of a perfect yogi. He could travel all over the universe. Similarly, there is a description of Durvasa Muni, who also travelled in space. Actually, the perfect yogi can do that. But even if one can travel all over the universe and show wonderful feats like Kardama Muni, he cannot be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose power and inconceivable energy can never be attained by any conditioned or liberated soul. By the actions of Kardama Muni, we can understand that in spite of his immense mystic power, he remained a devotee of the Lord. That is the real position of every living entity. So in this way, Devahuti and Kardama Muni went on a pleasure trip to different places in the universe which are full of different opulences, beautiful gardens, beautiful seasons, beautiful flora and fauna. In such settings, in different planets, within the planets, well-known, universally well-known spots for pleasure. To such places, Kardama Muni took Devahuti in that mystical airplane, aerial mansion, and gave her all the pleasure that is deserved of a wife by a wonderful husband like him. in order to bring forth procreation. All these were done in proper spirit by Karna Muni. Even though he was a great hermit, he himself, by his mystic power, could do all these wonderful things. So Prabhupada explains here that this is the meaning of perfection of yoga, mystic yoga. If somebody is talking about by yoga, he can perfect himself by Ashtanga yoga. He can perfect himself, Hatha yoga, Ashtanga yoga. He can perfect himself. Or by meditation, he can perfect himself. Then this is the standard of result of such a yogi. Not simply those who are simply by showing some sitting postures, nor by sitting postures, nor the so-called meditation. And then they advise themselves as becoming God. So this is a big cheating that goes on. You can cheat people who do not know about this, who have no knowledge about these scriptures. They can be bewildered. But those who are fortunate to hear the wonderful activities of yogis like Karna Muni in the Shastra, in the Bhagavata, they are never bewildered by modern yogis. So many modern yogis are there. Their knowledge is, compared to all these things, so superficial. And they give some intellectual talk, some think that you know, people who are totally foolish, you tell something which they do not know at all. Then they get, oh, he is great. He knows everything. He is a yogi. But whatever yogi may be, these perfections of yoga are designed into the creation by the Lord. It is a fact that one can become yogi and get yoga siddhis, the ashta siddhis. Ordinary jiva can get these ashta siddhis if he does proper tapasya. But those are all very, very hard tapasyas. It is practically not possible for people who, in the modern age, they cannot do that. That kind of tapasya. Little breathing exercise here and there, little bodily control through asanas, doesn't mean anything. It is like kindergarten of yoga. So if you see so-called modern yogis, or even jnanis of modern jnanis, they are in the kindergarten of the yogas that is described in our scriptures. See the power of a yogi, what all he could do. He could create a mansion in the air, could travel all over, could create 1,000 maid servants for his wife, right? And then at his wish, his mansion would move anywhere. And all the wonderful opulences, the pleasure for the eyes, pleasure for the ears, music, the pleasure for the senses, for sense of touch, pleasure for the taste. These are all called opulences. Opulences means, you know, they please all your senses. So these are all the, you know, things that are given to a yogi if he wants it in service of the Lord. So of course in this particular age, Kali Yuga, you know, Vaishnavas don't desire this kind of services, because the main service is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Any mystic power in connection with increasing the people to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we don't mind. That mystic power is called Vak Shakti. Tell somebody, chant Hare Krishna, he will chant. So, like Prabhupada had that Shakti, he went and told everybody, chant Hare Krishna. Everybody chanted Hare Krishna. They never knew philosophy of Krishna consciousness. They didn't know who is Krishna, what is Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna, he said. They chanted Hare Krishna. And then everything changed for them. Because when he said chant Hare Krishna, they were actually touching God. And they became purified. So hearing all these things in Srimad Bhagavatam, you see how wonderful is the Lord's creation. Even the temporary creation is so wonderful. We don't need any proof, even that these planets are all created for people with senses. In other words, these are not created for some impersonal thing. The entire existence is vibrating with personalism. Vibrating everywhere, everybody, the entire universe is running because of persons. Brahman means person. Personality, person. And existence means it is meant for persons. Whether it is spiritual existence or material existence, it is meant for, it is designed, it is catered, it caters to the senses, mind, intelligence of the persons. In the material world, this personality or this person, Brahman means person. Person means having the qualities of personhood, thinking, feeling, willing, seeing, sensing, touching, smelling, all those things. This is person. Person means thinking, feeling, willing, touching, all the five indriyas, and then acting, relating, loving. These are all the things, nature of person. If you think that person is an energy, it's an energy with these qualities. So Brahman is a person. Every particle in Brahma Jyoti is a person. But in Brahma Jyoti there is no question of development of our senses. So you come into the material world, all our inherent potency, our faculties to touch, smell, taste, think, feel, everything is manifest through this material creation. So ultimately when we say Aham Brahmasmi, it is the Brahman has the qualities of being a person. But that quality of being a person, the first faculty of being a person is his ability to identify with something, to create an identity. Just like in the material world, we create an identity, we adopt a false ego, we create an identity. When you create an identity, from the identity you create a personality. Where all these things are coming from, identity and personality. It is coming from Brahman. But it is completely influenced by the three modes of material nature, which is the material nature. Material energy is an influencer of our thinking, feeling and willing. Material nature itself does not have thinking, feeling and willing. Material nature itself does not have any of these sense of touch, smell, taste, none of these things. Because the super soul enters this body, therefore we have a sense of touch and smell and all those things. Otherwise, matter does not have these qualities. Matter does not have sense of touch, sense of smell, taste. Why we are feeling? Matter actually does not have the sense of ego also. It is only the Paramatma who is seated in each one of us gives us the facility to be in bodily concept. We cannot be in bodily concept on your own. That bodily concept, where I am this body, that normal thinking is coming again by the Paramatma. So, Prabhupada explains in this purport, beautiful planets are created. Each and every planet is made differently and has got wonderful features. And these things are the glory of the Lord, His opulence. The Mayavadis or the impersonalists, in one sweep they say this is all does not exist. Maya means that which does not exist. They don't exist, all these things. Whatever gymnastics one may do in yoga, one generally this is made to believe, people are made to believe that when you become a pakka yogi, just like you all know the story of a big sadhu, he touched this disciple's head and the room vanished, sky vanished, everything became Nirguna Brahman. This is all imagination. It doesn't become unless one gets liberated and comes out of the material energy, then he can experience Nirguna Brahman. If he experiences Nirguna Brahman, doesn't mean that this world vanishes. This world doesn't vanish. It is under the Lord's direction, this opulence. The unlimited planets are floating with varieties. Not by my sankalpa I can make it disappear. That is their philosophy, that this is Maya. It disappears. And it is based on that. So many modern theories also are there about metrics and this, that is just a software. And you turn the switch on, you are in this world. You turn the switch off, you are out of the software. You're out of the software. I mean, making it is not like that. It's not possible like that. The stringent laws of material nature to get liberated from this material experience. And material experience, material world you cannot switch off this software like that, even if it is software. There is pralaya, at that time will be switched off. Not when they want, it can be switched off. And pralaya also is described, how the floods happen, how destruction happens. I mean, it requires a personality like Lord Shiva to destroy this existence. It's not simply you can do it. There is one entire personality. God expands as Shiva and his work is to destroy. So all these, fantastic theories that we hear in modern days, we should be very, very careful. We should refer to our scriptures. They are all semblances. They are coming out of all these, because in reality, there is some connection with all these things. Just like in reality, Mayavadism has some connection with reality, because we also say the reading of the material energy is Maya. Material energy is not Maya. That means in my head what I say, that is Maya. What is outside me, it is not Maya. They say this is Maya, that is Maya, this is Maya, this is Maya. No, it's not. Those are all real, temporarily existing. What is in my head is Maya. What I think out of it, what I read out of it is illusion. The universe is unlimited. Even materially people are bewildered. Scientists are bewildered. Look at the cosmos. This is the unlimited opulence of the Lord. So simply we have to look at the universe, glorify the Lord. Look at the variegatedness, glorify the Lord. When you look at these things, when we hear these things, we understand how powerless we are, how tiny we are. We simply have to worship the Supreme Lord, the glorious Lord, the unlimited Lord. Our position is to worship Him. Our position is as His servant. That is what results when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, when you hear all these wonderful things. You realize that you cannot comprehend the unlimited plan of the Lord in bringing forth this creation. The details cannot be. Overall we understand, but the details, so many things He has put in place. Unlimitedly intelligent personality God is. And His mystic power, as Prabhupada is saying, these are all yogis doing, but what is Krishna's mystic power? See, here he says, even if one can travel all over the universe and show wonderful feats like Kardamuni, he cannot be compared to Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose power and inconceivable energy can never be attained by any conditioned and liberated soul. In other words, Lord also enjoys power. Lord is a person who enjoys power. Because the Lord enjoys, therefore the living entity also enjoys power. His power to move around, go here, create an aerial mansion, this, that. That is called power rasa. I think we are all very familiar with that in the material world, power rasa. So Lord also enjoys power rasa. That is why it is there in us also. His enjoyment is power rasa, is this entire creation is His power rasa. Is His power rasa. Unlimited. That's why it's a different tattva, Jiva tattva and Vishnu tattva. Though they are both are personalities, both are living beings, one is cannot be compared to the other. One is unlimited. We are sample gods. God is different. God is unlimited. Everything that you have, you extend to infinity. Think of a person with all those. Think of a person with unlimited seeing capacity. Not think of a God who has no eyes. But think of a God who has got infinite distance, infinite seeing eyes. Think of a God not without form. Think of a God whose form is never restricted. You can just change forms like this. Just like Krishna is taking so many deity forms like this. You want to install one more deity, so one more form. You chant Hare Krishna in your Shabda again, right there. Sound form, so many sound forms. So this is the idea of God. Then you can feel. Because we know what is seeing capacity. I mean, if I tell you that I'll give you special siddhi, that you can see through the walls and then you can go and see anything that you want. What do you feel? It's fantastic. No walls, no obstruction, nothing will stop. You can see everything. Actually, there is a person like that. And that is God. And He can do, and He's got eyes which can eat. He's got a hand which can see. See, in our hands are limited. Then you may say, then why you need eye and hand? If He can do everything that the hand does with the eyes, why He needs a hand at all? Because hands are beautiful. Otherwise, what will you see Him? So hands are there, eyes are there, but hands can do eyes job, eyes can do hands job. Ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. So, this is meditation on God. When you meditate on God with His unlimited opulence, first His opulence is about His own senses, about His own body. Then you start perceiving what is God. You need to start perceiving what is God, perceiving and feeling what is God. So when you hear these descriptions, it gives the idea of the greatness of the Creator and the greatness of power rasa. You can feel Kardama Muni enjoying power, as it is said here. He was showing to the princess. This is for a proper conjugal relationship. The man has to be seen by the woman as a personification of power. And for proper conjugal relationship, man has to see the woman as a personification of love and beauty. That is the reason why men are attracted to beauty and love and emotions. They are attracted to in the opposite sex. And women are attracted to power, intelligence, all these kind of things in men. If you are a man, you think everybody is attracted like how you are attracted. No. The other gender is exactly, they are as much as you feel attracted towards beauty, the same way they spontaneously feel attracted towards power, six-pack, all these things, they are attracted. Just like you are attracted with certain things. Exactly. It's different. The creation is, set things like that. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, in one of your previous lecture, you told that among the Sat, Chit and Ananda, Sat is power rasa. So I want to understand how it is mapped like that.
Yeah. Sat means existence. Sat means existence. What exists? Whatever exists is energy, energetic source, the source of energy and energy. That's all exists. Isn't it? God and His unlimited energies. So existence, Sat means God and His unlimited energies. Right? When these energies are handled by the living entity, that is called power. If I have money energy with me, if I am able to handle money energy, I call it as money power. Money is an energy, first of all. It can be In my hand, it will be my power. If it is in your hand, it will be your power. You understand? So it is all connected to existence. What are the other things? There are only three things: existence, knowledge, and rasa. Experience. Existence, knowledge, and pleasure experience. Only three things. Right? So, existence is the reality. Reality. So, when the reality is, you move reality the way you want, you call it as power. So, movement of reality, movement of existence is called power. Let's say somebody has got yoga siddhi, I can do this, I can do this. You'll see it's all connected to manipulating existence. Manipulating existence, becoming smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, picking up anything from anywhere, creating what he desires, is all connected to existence. So Sat is about power. And therefore, our willing capacity is connected to Sat. Willing. What do you do by willing? You move matter by willing. I am willing to lift this kartal. I am exercising my Sat. With knowledge. For Ananda. You understand? So they are inseparable. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
You said that we are in the bodily concepts because Paramatma is there in the body. So how could we be in the bodily concepts because of Paramatma, Prabhu? Paramatma is there in the body.
Krishna says, Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Unless that, sense of remembrance, okay, I am this body, is constantly there. Who gives that? Krishna gives that. Krishna gives that means you have to understand one thing. It's not that he personally is giving you in bodily concept. For this, Prabhupada gives a beautiful example of to see the role of Paramatma in everything in this world. Just like everything in the forest is growing because of rain. Rain is a basic thing that makes everything grow. But there is a mango seed which becomes a mango tree. There is a jackfruit seed which becomes a jackfruit. Now, the rain is not responsible for mango or jackfruit. At the same time, it is only because of the rain there is jackfruit or mango. Similarly, your bodily concept is caused by your ignorance. But you can't be ignorant unless the Paramatma is there and permitting you to experience this illusory life. So he is a constant factor. Entire material world, everybody in bodily concept. Other spirit, how can it touch with matter? How can it even perceive matter? It cannot perceive matter also. Spirit is spirit. Like petrol and water cannot mix together. You shake and then you leave it again, two layers it will be. Similarly, matter and spirit cannot. But I am not feeling, I am feeling one here. I am this body, I am feeling. How you are feeling I am this body? Because in reality you are not the body. This is a Lord's creation, His scheme of things. That if you want to be in bodily concept, it is possible. I will permit it. You want to be in false bodily, material bodily concept you want to be? Yes, I will permit it. Now I don't want to be in bodily concept of life. Yes, I am seated in your heart. I will give you remembrance that you are not this body. So your choice to be a mango tree or a jackfruit tree. Rain is continuously falling. You can utilize the rain. That is why it is said, without the Lord's mercy or without His sanction, nothing can operate in this material world. He is in the background of everything. Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.